So we are reading the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4 and chapter 11, verse number 3 to 5. 3, 4, 5. So the chapter name, Swayambhu Maharaj advises Maharaj not to fight. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tasyar Syastram Dunashiprayunjataha Suvarna Punka Kalaham Savasasaha Vinirusta Vivisur Visadbalam Yatavanam Bhimaravaha Sikandinaha Tasyar Sastram Dhanushi Prayunjataha Suvarna Punka Kalahamsa Vasasaha Vinirusta Visadbalam Yatavanam Bhimaravaha Sikandinaha Tasya Sastram Dhanushi Prayunjataha Suvarna Punkaha Kalahamsa Vasaha Vinihrusta Vivisurdvisad Palam Yatavanam Bhimaravaha Sikandinaha. Hare Krishna. Anyone wants to recite?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Yes, please.
Can I go to the first verse?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Tasya Arsha Astram Prayunjata Dhanushi Prayunjata Suvarna Panko Kalahamsa Vashasha Vinisrita Vishishu Dishadvalam Yatavanam Bhima Ravaha Shikandina.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please.
Tasyar Shastram Dhanushi Prayunjataha Suvarna Punkha Kalaham Shabashashaha Vinishrita Abhibhishurdishat Balam Yatha Vanam Vimorava Shikandinaha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I am also trying.
Yes, Prabhuji, yeah, please.
Tarshara Shastra Dhanashi Prayunjataha Subharna Pumsha Kalaham Shabashashaha Vinisrita Avibhishur Tishat Balam Yatha Banam Bhimarava Shikhandinaha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to go for synonyms?
Mataji, all right. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Synonyms by Srila Prabhupada. Tasya, wild Dhruva. Arsa Astram, the weapon given by Narayan Rishi. Dhanusi, on his bow. Prayunajata, fixed. Suvarna Pankaha, arrows with golden shafts. Kala Hamsa was with feathers like the wings. Vinisha sprang out. Avivishu entered. Visat Balam, the soldiers of the enemy. Yatha, forest. Bhima Rava, making tumultuous sound. Sikandina, peacocks. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Even as Dhruva Maharaj fixed the weapons made by Narayan Rishi on his feathers, even as Dhruva Maharaj fixed the weapons made by Narayan Rishi onto his bow, arrows with golden shafts and feathers like the wings of a swan flew out from it. They entered the enemy soldiers with a great hissing sound, just as peacocks enter a forest with cumulus crowing. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So we'll go through the next verse and then we start. Anybody would like to read the verse, Mataji? Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, yes.
Vaistik modharoi pradhane shili mukhoi itastata punya jana upadrutaha tam abhyadhavana kupita udayudhaha suparnam unyadhyakana ibahayoho. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So anybody would like to read synonyms and translation?
Mataji,
Yes.
I am trying.
Yes, please, Prabhuji.
Toi by those, stigma dharoi, which had a sharp point, pradhane on the battlefield, shili mukhoi, arrow, iti tata, here and there, punya jana, the yakshas, upadrutaha, being greatly agitated, tom towards Dhruva Maharaj, Abhudhavan, rushed, Popito being angry, Udoy with Udoyudha with praised weapons, Suparnam towards Garuda, Unnodha Funa with upraised hoods, like Evo like, and Ahoya serpents. Those sharp arrows dismayed the enemy soldiers, who became almost unconscious. But various yakshas on the battlefield, in a rage against Dhruva Maharaj, somehow or other collected their weapons and attacked, just as serpents agitated by Garuda rushed towards Garuda with upraised hoods. All the yaksha soldiers prepared to overcome Dhruva Maharaj with their upraised weapons.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. We'll go through one more verse, then we start discussing. Anybody would like to read the fifth verse?
Shatan, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Please go ahead.
Shatan prashaktver avidya avomride nikrita bahu uru shiro dharan shiro dharan ninyalokam paramarka mandalam prajanti nirviteyam urdhavaritasha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. So anybody can read synonyms, translations. Okay, synonyms. Saha, he, Dhruva Maharaja, done all the actions. Prasaktaye, by his arrows. Abhidhavataha, coming forward. Mrude, in the battlefield. Nikrita, being separated. Bahu, arms. Uru, thighs. Sirahadara, necks. Udaran, on bellies. Ninaya, delivered. Lokam, to the planet. Param, supreme. Arkamandalam, the sun globe. Rajanti, go. Nidbidya, piercing. M, to which. Udvareta saha, those who do not discharge semen at any time. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone would like to read translation?
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Dhruva Maharaj saw the Yakshasa coming forward, he immediately took his arrows and cut the enemies to pieces, separating their arms, legs, heads, and bellies from their bodies. He delivered the Yakshasa to the planetary system, which is situated above the sun globe and which is attainable only by first-class brahmacharis who have never discharged the semen. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guruji. Purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji, may I?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, please.
To be killed by the Lord or by his devotees is auspicious for non-devotees. The Yakshas were killed indiscriminately by Dhruva Maharaj, but they attained the planetary system attainable only for brahmacharis who never discharged their semen. As impersonate jnanis or the demons killed by the Lord attain Brahmaloka or Satyaloka, persons killed by a devotee of the Lord also attain Satyaloka. To reach the Satyaloka planetary system described here, one has to be elevated above the sun globe. Killing, therefore, is not always bad. If the killing is done by the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotee, or in great sacrifices, it is for the benefit of the entity killed in that way. Material so-called non-violence is very insignificant in comparison to killing done by the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotees. Even when a king or the state government kills a person who is a murderer, that killing is for the benefit of the murderer, for thus he may become cleared of all sinful reactions. An important word in this verse is Urdhava Vittasha, which means brahmacharis who have never discharged semen. Celibacy is so important that even though one does not undergo any austerities, penances, or ritualistic ceremonies prescribed in the Vedas, if one simply keeps himself a pure brahmachari, not discharging his semen, the result is that after death, he goes to the Satyaloka. Generally, sex life is the cause of all miseries in the material world. In the Vedic civilization, sex life is restricted in various ways. Out of the whole population of the social structure, only the grahasthas are allowed restricted sex life. All others refrain from sex. The people of this age especially do not know the value of not discharging semen. As such, they are variously entangled with material qualities and suffer an existence of struggle only. The word Urdhava Vittasha especially indicates the Mayavadi sannyasis who undergo strict principles of austerity. But in the Bhagavad Gita 8.16, the Lord says that even if one goes up to Brahmaloka, he again comes back. A Brahma Bhuvanal Loka Punar Avritano Arjuna. Therefore, actual mukti or liberation can be attained only by devotional service, because by devotional service, one can go above Brahmaloka or to the spiritual world, wherefrom he never comes back. Mayavadi sannyasis are very proud of becoming liberated, but actual liberation is not possible unless one is in touch with the Supreme Lord in devotional service. It is said, Harim Vina na Mrityam Taranti. Without Krishna's mercy, no one can have liberation.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. So, this is, we'll go back to verse 3. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshaduniltam Yena Tasmai Sri Garave Namaha Narayanam Namaskrityam Namam Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirate Ashtapraya Sabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistake. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarubhya Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. So, we have been discussing the fighting spirit of Dhruva Maharaj in this chapter and previous chapters. So, Dhruva Maharaj's brother was killed by Yakshas. So, he was in great angry and he wanted to take revenge on Yakshas and he was fighting. So when he was attacked, Dhruva Maharaj, so many Yakshas, when he was fighting with the Yakshas, so many Yakshas, they were covered, they came attacked to Dhruva Maharaj. That time, Dhruva Maharaj was so bewildered. So they were pouring blood, dead bodies, so many things, unauspicious things. Was so bewildered. Then sages instructed, so don't be afraid, just be courageous. And they encouraged and they spoken some words towards the Dhruva, so that he again the strength, and he remembered Narayanastra. So the Dhruva Maharaj, he was using the Narayanastra. So I just want to highlight the Narayanastra. Actually, the Narayanastra, there is no difference between Narayanastra and Narayana. It is Narayana himself. So it was used in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, even in the battlefield of Ravana war. So when in the fighting of Kurukshetra, so Ashwadhama used the Narayana Astra. So, it has a tremendous power, Narayana Astra. So it can kill any millions of soldiers and so no matter whoever and it kills army. And there are so many powerful missiles in the Narayana Astra. It kills so hundreds, thousands, millions of people at a time. So that time, so when Ashwadhama was using the Narayana Astra, so I just stopped sharing here for a while. So when Narayana Astra was using, so everybody, they fled towards Krishna and asked, so what can we do? So Krishna advised them, so don't be afraid. So you just surrender. So it is nothing but Narayana himself. You just take shelter of Narayana, you just surrender. It will not harm you. So immediately all the Pandavas party, they just surrendered. They bowed down and they surrendered to the Narayana Astra. And they never they didn't get any hurt from that Astra. In the same way, Indrajit, Meghnad, the son of Ravana, he also used Narayana Astra on Lakshman. But the Narayana Astra didn't do anything because Lakshmana nothing but Adisesha. He couldn't do anything. So this is very powerful Astra. In the same way, Dhruva Maharaj also here is using the Narayana Astra to dispel that illusory energy. So he was covered that time. It was said in the previous verses, it was covered with illusory energy. It is nothing but illusion. In the same way, we are also in the midst of the illusory energy, and we have to overcome it. Yesterday, Anandani Mataji very nicely explained how to overcome that illusory energy. So this Maya, the same way. So Dhruva Maharaj was in a bewildered state, and he was overcome that illusory state by using the Narayana Astra. So then in the next verse, for the giving the translation explanation, it is saying that by using that Narayana Astra, many soldiers of the Yakshas were killed, but some were just they got up, they get their consciousness, and they again attacked Dhruva Maharaj. So here Dhruva Maharaj again, he used his weapons, very nicely explained by Israel Prabhupada in the translation. So it is, if you see the translation for the fourth one, those sharp orders dismayed the enemy soldiers, who became almost unconscious, but various Yakshas on the battlefield in a rage against Dhruva Maharaj somehow or other collected their weapons and attacked. Just as serpents agitated by Garuda rushed towards Garuda with upraised hoods, all the Yaksha soldiers prepared to overcome the Maharaj with their upraised weapons. So again they attacked. They gained their consciousness, and again they attacked Dhruva Maharaj. So this time Dhruva Maharaj again used his arrows to smash the enemies. So in this purport, the Prabhupada explained so many points. If you, yeah. Sorry. So if you see, there are so many points explained by Prabhupada. First of all, he explained I'll explain one by one. So killed by rod is so auspicious. So generally the Lord he come to annihilate the miscreants. That means, so non-devotees, even the non-devotees who are enemy towards the Lord, so they just want to lord over the Lord. So that time, in order to establish dharma, he comes and he just want to fight with them to re-establish dharma. So in this way, killed by Lord is so auspicious. So many instances we can see in the case of Jaya Vijaya. So they aspired only for three times as an enemy. They don't want to go for a long time as a devotee. So whatever it is, in the some of the lectures in Vrindavan I heard from the senior devotee, the Lord sometimes he pats. That means he praises devotee. Sometimes he smashes. So we have to accept both the ways. In a humble mood, we have to accept it, whether he is praising or whether he is smashing. So it is for our benefit only. So it is so auspicious in the Kurukshetra war also. So in the presence of Krishna, so many soldiers are fighting. So this is very auspicious, even though they killed. So they get liberated because it is in the presence of Lord. So in the same way, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Sisipala, Randravaka, and Hiranyakashipu, they also liberated. And here, the demons killed by Lord, they get Sahyuja Mukti. That means the Kaivalya Mukti, they emerge into the Lord. If you talk about 5 types of liberations, Sahyuja, Salokya, Samipya, Sasti, and Sarupya. So this is the Mukti they get when they were killed by Lord. And they merge into the Lord. But devotees, they don't aspire for this type of liberations. They want only devotional service. So they no matter whether they are with the Lord, they are in the same planet of Lord, they are having same opulences of Lord, they are with the same potency of the Lord, they don't matter for the devotee. They aspire for devotional service. So from this we can understand this is very auspicious killed by Lord. So we have to accept that mercy. So mercy comes from any way. So Lord wants to give, so he gives with his unlimited hands. We have to be ready to take with our limited 2 hands. We have to be ready. So whatever way it comes, whether he is praising, whether he is smashing us, we have to take in a positive way. So all as it is for our benefit. So even in the Kurukshetra war, so everybody is liberated. Lord said, so don't worry, Arjuna, you are nimitta matrena. So you are just instrument, you are already killed. So they already got liberated in my presence. Don't worry about it. So don't think you are killing them. And here Lord is in the 9.29, he is saying, Samoham Sarvabhutesha. So I am not partial or impartial to everyone. I am neutral to everyone. But whoever prays to me, I'll give special benedictions to them. And here in this verse, Prabhupada is explaining especially the devotees, non-devotees who are killed by Lord or Lord's devotee, they attain Satyaloka or Brahmaloka. So this is far away, far superior from the earth. But it is in this material world only. So we should not think Brahmaloka is superior, and we should not go for that. So even though there are so many sages, impersonalists, jnanis, they aspire to go to Brahmaloka. They do lots of austerities and they penances. So they stop eating, stop breathing, so many things to go to Brahmaloka. Even in the Bhagavatam, it is 3rd chapter, 32 chapter, from 8 to 15 verses, it is saying what are the qualifications to go to Brahmaloka. So there are 4 qualifications to go to Brahmaloka. First one is, so whoever they meditate on Brahma to go to Brahmaloka, there is a Panchagna Vidhi. So that is the process they have to undergo when they want to go to Brahmaloka. It is mentioned in Chandogya Upanishad. So they have to do that process, that Vidhi, to go to Brahmaloka. It is very, very difficult also. But whoever done that process, whoever get perfect in that process, they go to Brahmaloka. So, but Krishna also says that it is also incomplete. So going that Brahmaloka is also incomplete. Why? It is in 8.16, it is saying that Adanma Brahmana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna Mamupetitu Kauntaya Punarjanmana. So, but even it is a Brahmaloka, it is superior planet in the material world. So you have to come back. We have 4 difficulties there also in Brahmaloka. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vedi. Cannot avoid it. Unless you are fixed in the devotional service there. So you have to come back again. So that is one process. And also there are so many sages, impersonalists, jnanis, they meditate to go to Brahmaloka. So that is also one process. By Jnana Yoga, they go to Brahmaloka. And the third one, if they leave their body, they know. So there is a particular period. If you leave your body in this particular period, moment, in auspicious time, definitely you reach Brahmaloka. Some of the sages, some of the impersonalists, jnanis, mainly, they do this type of meditation. They leave their body and in order to go to Brahmaloka. This is third type. And if you come to the fourth type, and if you go to Brahmaloka also, so if they are keep on meditating on Brahma, they merge into the Brahma at the time of death. That is also one process described in the Bhagavatam. And the last one, some of the non-devotees, some of the rishis and munis, jnanis, they meditate on Hiranyagarbha. So anybody wants to say who is Hiranyagarbha actually?
Hiranyagarbha is Brahma himself.
Hiranyagarbha. So actually Hiranyagarbha, so it is Brahma himself establishes, but actually the Hiranyagarbha, they meditate on the Hiranyagarbha, that Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Actually, they meditate on Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu to go to. So there are 2 chances for them. If they meditate on Hiranyagarbha, so there are 2 ways. They can go to Brahmaloka, so they can go to Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu after annihilation, after the death of Brahma. In this way, they are attaining Brahma. So they are attaining the Brahma and they are attaining the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu also. Still, here Prabhupada is explaining these desires are incomplete. They have to come back again. Even though they are doing so many austerities to go to Brahmaloka, there's a superior planet of the earth, they have to come back again because it is incomplete. And they have they are with the desires. And they have birth, death, old age, and disease in these planets. If you go to superior planets also, we have to come back again. So we have to remember that we have to aim for the above the material world. So that is a spiritual world. So Vaikunta, Golokadam, and so we have to aim for that one. So Prabhupada he is explaining the devotion, Krishna consciousness is very, very easy process. No need to go to severe austerities like sages, jnanis, dhyanis. So no need to. So our process is just feasting, dancing, and chanting. So just enjoy and you get liberated. What are the 3 principles? Feasting, dancing, and chanting. So no need to go for severe ashraya with desires. So even you go to higher planets, Uttama lokas, have to come back. In 9.21, Krishna also says that Tetam Bhuktva Svargalokam Kshine Punya Matchalokam Santi. That means even though you are doing so many punya karmas, aim for the heavens and the Brahmaloka, so you have to come after your punya, pious activity decreases, you have to come back again. So even the non-devotees killed by Lord or Lord devotees, So they go to Satyaloka. And also here, the Prabhupada mentioned the other point about Brahmacharya, celibacy, the importance of celibacy. So Prabhupada explained. So there is a verse in the Bhagavatam that Atapumbir Dijastesta Varnasrama Bhagasta Sanusista Dharmasya Samsiddho Haritoshanam. That means there are 4 varnas, ashramas. So Brahmacharya, Gruhastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. So among 4 these ashramas, so only the marriage life is given to that Gruhastha only. Brahmacharis, Vanaprastha, so Sannyas they should be restrained from the sex life. So that's why if you see in ancient times, a very tender age, even they don't know the knowledge about sex and all this, very tender age, they send to Gurukula so that they get perfectness. So Brahmacharya, maintaining Brahmacharya, it's like a qualification to go to Brahmaloka. Even for Kumaras, so they are Brahmacharis, they maintain Brahmacharya. Here, so even it is, Prabhupada says, even Brahmacharya celibacy, you want to follow. So here in this verse, it is explained, Dhruva Maharaja, he is fighting with Yakshas, he is killing and he is sending them to the Satyaloka. So actually Satyaloka will be attained who are engaging the Brahmacharya, who followed the celibacy. Otherwise it is very difficult to attain that loka. But here it is easily, the Yakshas are attaining that loka, killed by devotee of Lord. Prabhupada says the Brahmacharya, the celibacy is not a fundamental principle to go to Lord. So it is one of the principles to reach Lord. So above this Brahmacharya, there is a devotional service. We have to go for the devotional service. We want to get the unlimited happiness, want to serve Lord really. So the devotional service is the real process. And also Krishna says in 7.11 Bhagavad Gita, Balam Balavata Chaham Kamaraga Vivarjitam Dharma Vivardha Bhuteshu Kamosmi Bharatarsabha. So here it is saying that the sex life, so I am in a sex life, but it should be according to the Vedic injunctions. There should be no contradictory. There should be no conflicts. The Vedas and the sex life. You have to follow the Vedas where it is really given, where it is acceptable. So that's why it is clearly mentioned that only Grihasthas, they can do the they can go for the sex life. So not for the brahmacharis, not for the vanaprastha, not for sannyasis. Why it is given to the only for grihasthas? Anybody wants to share? What is the reason?
Because they are responsible for raising children in Krishna consciousness. That's why.
Yes. So they can beget the Krishna conscious children. So actually what is happening, so if it is not there, if that it is not given for one of the ashram, so nobody is taking responsibility to progeny, responsible for the progeny. That means in that way Prabhupada is explaining, in that way the great acharyas, they are giving birth, and the great kings, so we can actually lead. They have to take the role of the responsibility to teach what is the system, what is the cult of Vaishnava, to teach all these, to encourage the common men in the process of devotional service. We need good people. So for that reason, the Gruhasthas are given license for this sex life, not for enjoyment. It is strictly given. So not for enjoyment, only for begetting Krishna consciousness, so that they become very good devotees. They lead the society the same way. So like a saintly Rajarshis, so the saintly kings, they do it, they practice, and they also give same lessons to the public, so for the society. In that way, everybody gets liberated. And also here, one more point is discussed, that is non-violence. So if there is one more point explained by Prabhupada here. So-called non-violence, it is insignificant in front of non-devotee killed by Krishna. So non-violence, it is ahimsa paramo dharma. So Lord came in the form of Buddha to give this. So now ahimsa paramo dharma. So that means non-violence. So he highlighted non-violence. Why he highlighted non-violence? That time, what was happening? So anybody wants to share why he has given the ahimsa paramo dharma?
Yeah, to stop the cow killing, that idiot.
Yeah, that time they are just following the Vedas. Vedas said, so you can kill, you can give the animals in the fire sacrifice. So all these, so they are taking in a wrong way. So they are misleading, and they are misguided by some other non-devotees, and they were doing all these sacrifices. They are killing the animals, but actually it is not the correct process. In order to stop that one, so Lord came in the form of Buddha, and he started non-violence, ahimsa paramo dharma. But sometimes killing is very, very important. So why? So if it is not given, suppose there is a murderer in the kingdom, what happens? For his benefit only, king ordered to hang him, so that he will not reoccur any sins for the next life. So his sinful activities will be nullified. So it is benefit for them only. That's why sometimes killing is accepted. In the same ways, non-violence is not insignificant. It is insignificant in front of the killing non-devotees by Lord. So it is for their betterment only. So many demons and so many non-devotees, they were killed by Lord. So they got liberation. They go to higher planets, and from there they do devotional service. They realize and they do devotional service. In that way they liberate. So these are the points discussed by Srila Prabhupada. So here the Dhruva Maharaj, he was killing the actors and he was sending them to Brahmaloka, which is not attainable by common person who are not in the process of Brahmacharya. So that Brahmacharya is very important. But Prabhupada is explaining, so in the process of devotion service, it is insignificant. It is not a fundamental principle. The fundamental principle is you have to aspire for the devotional service. So here we have to understand Lord is giving lots of opportunities, facilities to engage his service. He is directly giving in Vaikuntha key. In other words, in a simple manner, if you want to talk, so he is giving the key for Vaikuntha, Golok Dham. But we are stuck with this keys of real estate. So, okay, it's okay. I have 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, I'm fine. So I'm getting for one more house. I'm so comfortable. So I'm happy with this keys. We are not taking that key, which is given by Lord. So we have to come to that platform. We have to accept whatever the facilities Lord is giving. We have to utilize. We have to utilize for our benefit. So the process is devotion service. At the end of this, what Lord is, Prabhupada is explaining. So at the end of this, Prabhupada is explaining, it is only achieved by the mercy of Lord. So how we get the mercy of Lord, that is the whole thing. The whole practice we are doing to get the mercy of Lord by associating devotees, by 9 process of devotional service. The powerful tool is associating with the devotees. And any process you start chanting, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Sparanam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Archanam, Dasim, Sakyam, Atmanivedam. Atmanivedanam is very, very far. So we have to start from the Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. At least these three principles, if you start from right now, so we can at least we'll come to that platform of mode of goodness. From there, we can start our journey for the devotion service. So Prabhupada is giving very simple formula: feasting, dancing, and chanting. So you take that formula. So you should not be burden with yourself. So many austerities like jnanis, impersonalists. So they were going that. Still, it is samayeva kevalam. They are coming. They have to come back again, even though they are aiming for the Brahmaloka, the superior planet of the material world. Still, they have to come back because it is full of desires. It is also incomplete. So we have to aim for the planet Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Evoti Tattara Ektadanam Punyam Janma Punarjanma Naiti Mamati. So Arjuna. So we have to aim for that dham. So wherever you go, we should not come back. We have to aim for that dham. So Krishna is saying that. So we should not aim for the superior planets, heaven, and so superior to the Maharloka, Tapaloka, Siddhaloka, and Brahmaloka. We should not aim for these. These are temporary benefits. So in order to attain the ultimate benefit, so I have to be connect with the Lord by process of devotion service. That is the highest. In that way, we get the mercy of Lord. We will go back to Godhead, come back to Godhead. So Hare Krishna. So anybody wants to say anything, you want to add any points, or like to correct me? Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam.
Danvat Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, it's such a nice, well-researched class. Amazing. Mataji, I just wanted to ask a question about the Brahm Astra and the Narayan Astra. In your research, have you come across to see what are the major differences between the Brahm Astra and the Narayana Astra? Why I'm asking this question is, in the class, I've given an assignment to our students to compare and contrast the modern day nuclear weapons to our ancient traditional weapons like Brahmastra. So is there a marked difference between the Brahmastra and the Narayan Astra in your research, if you have any?
Actually, Mataji, I don't know actually, but what I know, it is they are so powerful compared to Brahmastra. Narayanastra is so powerful. So it is given by Narayanastra. So many kings, so great personalities, actually they used it. It is not for like Aswadhama used it to actually in the bad mood. So what I understood, so we have to utilize these astras for the good purpose, not for the, even Meghanad, he failed because the mood was different. So the astras was given to protect the purpose is to protect. So when they are used by the good devotees, that means they are with a good consciousness, they really work very well. So they should not be used in a wrong way. That I can understand. And so Narayana Astra, it is given by Narayana Rishi, and so that's what I know, Mataji. So anybody wants to share anything about it? So you are more than welcome. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. To supplement the same thing, what you have just to corroborate that one, I think we can say like that the mood of the person using Brahmastra is very important, and their
Yes.
consciousness should be either in preserving the dharma or
Yes.
who are against the dharma. These it works nicely for those who
Yes.
who uses it for preserving dharma and to destroy dharma, and in the other way around, those who want to destroy the dharma, it doesn't become useful, and that is the purpose. And
Yes, Prabhuji, exactly.
thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Any other? Mataji, sorry, so I couldn't explain much. So that's what I think, Mataji. Anybody wants to add anything more about Narayanastra, Brahmastra?
Hare Krishna, we still got a few minutes. Any devotees like to give any comments, reflection, realization? We still can continue. Few minutes.
Thank you, Mataji, for a very nice class. Appreciate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining this morning. Our grace Savitri Mataji ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Bhakta Hari Bol, Vancha Kalpadana Vaishya, Kripa Siddhara Vichar, Vishnu Jyoti, Gaur Hari Bol.
Pancha Kalpata, Kripa Sindhu.